the Hat Man feels like somebody who's in between realms. It's like they don't have, I don't know if they have a space that they call their own, that they just like dip in and out, whatever realms they choose. And he is more of observing and taking things in. So this black silhouette with a black hat, usually like a flat brim hat all the way around, and is standing somewhere in a corner or in the window, or and there's also an ominous feeling with him, just negative and not very lighthearted. A man in my room, and he was all black and he was wearing a hat, and he was holding these boxes that he felt were luggage or suitcases or something, and he's holding a leash, but he didn't see a dog. I believe Bigfoot, Bigfoot sightings, Bigfoot is one of those entities that is in between realms as well. Like it just can dip in, dip out wherever it chooses to go. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Spiritual Connections by Joelle. I'm your host, Joelle Burns, divine psychic medium, alien channeler, intuitive healer, all the things. I say that all the time. Who's here? Okay. Sorry guys. So I got interrupted. Jesus is here. This is interesting, guys. He told me he wants to send out through this podcast a healing frequency through me, but you guys won't hear anything. So I'm like, okay. Oh, this feels super powerful, guys. I'm just allowing it to, it's coming in through my crown chakra and like down and out through like my heart center, and it's going into the microphone for those who are listening, and then through the video for those who are watching on YouTube. Okay, that's done. Never know, day in the life of a psychic medium and intuitive healer. You never know what's going to happen. Earlier, I was doing a video with my guardian angel. She helps me in my healing. She was over my right shoulder. Actually, now once I talk about her, she comes in. She helps in my healing. She looks like, it's hard to explain her. So her name's Lucy. And I don't see her face. She's just all pure white. She's definitely of the angelic realm. And she wears like this, I don't know if her hair is white or blonde, but like I said, I don't really see her face. Like I don't see facial features. I just know she's a she. And like she has this cloaked and full drapey outfit that is like wispy at the bottom, like almost has these like big fringe kind of thing, that it's all like flowy, and as if she's got like a little fan going on her that is just like this moving, flowing, beautiful thing. Lucy's been around today too. Interesting. Okay. That's not the topic I was going to talk about, and I'm wondering if I should not do. Let me see. Let me ask. Okay. So I was told that I can do it, that I'm going to be protected and safe and grounded while I tell these stories. Because sometimes with my podcast, I always try to keep everything lighthearted and fun. But sometimes you guys like listening to the spooky stuff. So I'm down for telling the stories as long as it doesn't any of you in a negative way or myself in a negative way. So I'll do it as long as I'm protected. And Jesus said that I am. So today's topic, now that we can finally get to it, is talking about the Hat Man. Have you heard of the Hat Man? Have you been visited by the Hat Man? Somebody that you know been visited by the Hat Man? So the Hat Man is, when you chat GBT it or Google search, it just comes up that it's urban legend, that it's just something that people have talked about throughout the years and have been visited by. I've had some people say to me that the Hat Man only comes to you when you die, and that is not the situation whatsoever. In getting a sense and channeling and asking who the Hat Man is. So the Hat Man feels like somebody who's in between realms. It's like they don't have, I don't know if they have a space that they call their own, that they just like dip in and out, whatever realms they choose. And he is more of observing and taking things in. And stories that I've heard of the Hat Man is that sometimes everybody sees him the same way. So this black silhouette with a black hat, usually like a flat brim hat all the way around, and is standing somewhere in a corner or the window, and there's also an ominous feeling with him, just negative and not very lighthearted, but really he tends to come when you're resting, sleeping, and at night, and usually it's already dark and he's like in the shadows kind of thing. So he's not going to hurt anybody. So he doesn't have any powers, so to say. So he's not going to do anything. So already rest assured there. And he just feels curious and almost wanting to feel, he likes that people feel his presence. And he just almost wants to assert himself as like this dominant figure. But again, there's no way he's going to hurt you. So he just feels like assertive and I'm here. And he really has nothing to bring to the table besides the fact that he just wants you to know that he's there. Okay. I have heard if you have him visiting too, that he will start in one space of the room and then he tends to come closer and closer. I always say for any type of protection, you can always pray to your angels, pray to Jesus, pray to Archangel Michael. They will come down and they will scoot him out of there and protect your space and reset it to help you. Listen, there are things that go bump in the night, right? When we are sensitive to it, or even if we're not sensitive, even if we don't know about these kind of things. So that's why I'm letting you guys know even though he feels ominous, he's just there to look. Like he's really not doing anything. So he can't hurt you. So definitely claim back your space and have him get out of there. Like you don't need him around. I can't remember when I was talking about the Hat Man or how it came up, but my son had come to me and said, Mom, I've been visited by the Hat Man. He's now 9 years old. This was maybe when he was 8, and he said that he came last year when he was 7. Sorry. So backtracking, he was about 7 years old when he saw this, but it was maybe a year after this happened to him that he said, oh, there was a man in my room and he was all black and he was wearing a hat and he was holding these boxes that he felt were luggage or suitcases or something. And he's holding a leash, but he didn't see a dog. He just saw the leash because everything was then below his bed line. And he said he was at the foot of the bed. And he said he saw him turn and walk and go towards his closet and disappear, which his closet is closer to, I guess it's on the opposite side of his bed, but it feels like it's getting closer to him. So that was really an interesting story, and especially where it comes with the boxes and the leash. So I wasn't exactly sure. Like, I feel like it's a type of Hat Man. Like, I don't feel like the Hat Man is one entity, that it might be like a handful or whatever. You know what the Hat Man feels like? And you may believe in this or not, but is I believe Bigfoot sightings, Bigfoot is one of those entities that is in between realms as well. Like, it just can dip in, dip out wherever it chooses to go. Almost like it's extraterrestrial, if you want to say, per se, but like they dip in and dip out. Like, they can come and go as they please. So that's what I'm sensing with the Hat Man, is very similar to Bigfoot and sightings with Bigfoot and things like that. Prayers for protection, prayers and some saging, and always praying to God or Jesus to help with that. And like, I've heard if you start saying the Our Father, it'll disappear and things like that, because anything in God's white light, like, it can push out anything unwanted. So honestly, you have to speak up and own your space to make sure that only anything of God's white light can be in and around your space. So I say that, and I do that all the time, right? And then that happened to my son. And I do protection prayers for them all the time and things like that. But sometimes I'm just tired and I don't think of it, or sometimes I'm not feeling well. Like, I've been sick for the past couple of weeks, and I also had a dark energy that tried to latch on to me while I was sick, and it had me thinking negative thoughts. I was not thinking myself. I wasn't feeling myself. I was crying a lot. It was very odd behavior for me. And when I discussed it with my husband, who's always my beautiful skeptic, but he knows a lot of the metaphysical as well, and he had said that he had those same thoughts and they cleared. And then I started having those thoughts. And so he already knew that it was something that was negative moving through the house. And right away when I got home, even though I wasn't feeling well, cleansed the house, cleansed the space, made sure everything was all set and cleared and covered in God's beautiful white light. So I hope you enjoyed this episode today and learned a little bit about the Hat Man. And as always, I want to send you love and light.